As a optimist and an entrepreneur, I love the smell of possibility in the morning. That and bacon and coffee. But at the start of a day, everything is possible. Who does their best thinking in the morning in the shower? I think the reason this is because while the rest of our day is filled with stuff, in the shower we're unplugged. We're able to really concentrate on what's in our head and the possibility before us. It's kind of sad if we look at it. How many of you have a laptop or a phone open while you watch TV? We become so sick that we multitask when we're having fun. Okay? So sometimes when you get stuck, you need to unplug. Another thing you should do is unfriend. How many people have in their Facebook feed people who every time you read their status update piss you off? You are choosing this. This is opting in for pain. Unfriend, block, hide, bye-bye. The other complaint we have every morning is my inbox. We're all craving inbox zero, but we have inbox bazillion instead. How many things do you have in your inbox that you once subscribed to and now you no longer want, but you keep deleting them rather than unsubscribing? Click unsubscribe at the bottom. Get rid of it once so we can move on to our day because we got so much to do. We get these ideas. And the challenge for us is our ideas are perishable. When the muse visits you, not this muse. No, probably not. Hercules. No, when the muse visits you, you have a responsibility. So I really want this talk today a question for you. How many of you have worn your robe backwards? Why aren't you listed on the patent for a Snuggie? Isn't that terrible? It's like, I did that. Were they watching my window? The challenge is we don't get rewarded for what we think or what we say. We only get rewarded for what we finish. And in today's society, we have some real challenges. We all have what I call squirrel's disease. We're surrounded by shiny objects. Squirrel! So it's so easy to be distracted. So this talk, I want you to consider your Miranda warning. When you get an idea, if you don't bring that idea to life, it will go out and inspire someone else. Because even though people wait, the ideas don't like to. So I want to take you back in time. Let's go back 35 years. Back when Magic was still playing in Michigan, when Terry Bradshaw had a little more hair, when Tracy Austin won the Open, and new technology came on. This awesome new technology called cable TV. Now at the time, Sports Illustrated was the only name in sports. If you want to know something about sports, you went to Sports Illustrated. They were the worldwide leader in sports. They were the head of sports journalism. Now imagine if they saw this new technology and said, look, we have a new outlet to take our reporting. We're already covering the world. Let's do a Sports Illustrated TV network, or maybe call it SIPN, and every day we'll have a show and we'll talk about the things we're already reporting on. But it didn't happen because Sports Illustrated loved the smell of ink on their fingers. They thought they were journalists. A true journalist works in print. Television journalism, They were in love with their factory rather than their customer. ESPN came along and ate their lunch. Now they're the worldwide leader in sports. Did they fall in love with the television? Hell no. They beat that up like they're going Office Space on it. They don't care where you digest their content. You want a radio, a phone, a computer? ESPN's for you. We're capturing the information. Where you want to consume it is up to you. The ultimate insult to injury in the international magazine competition, who won for outstanding sports print journalism? Boom, ESPN the magazine. Fall in love with your people. Fall in love with your idea. Don't fall in love with your factory. Because what it comes down to is innovation is really nothing more than taking the things around us and combining them in new and exciting ways. That's how we innovate every day. Let's go back 100 years. Now, has anyone not seen Titanic yet? Earmuffs, because I'm going to ruin the ending. So they hit the wrong movie. Sorry. So they run into some challenges. And the sad thing about it, before I go into the Titanic, let me talk about the most selfish woman in the history of cinema. Do you know how many college scholarships she could have bought with that damn necklace? I hate that woman. Forget Billy Zane. She's the villain of Titanic. Ice bitch. Sorry. So anyhow, back to the story. So they hit the iceberg, and the sad thing, thousands of lives lost. The biggest lifeboat available to the Titanic went unused. We could have saved thousands of people by looking at things in a different light, by looking at what we're afraid of and finding new ways to use that fear. What if they pulled alongside the iceberg and offloaded the folks? What if they took them from a lifeboat, put them on the iceberg, came back, got more people? Sure, we might have lost some feet, some hypothermia, but the Carpathia was 4 hours away. If we learned to embrace the things that are bringing us down, we could have saved Leo. Let it go. Couldn't you find another piece of wood? Really? There's one piece of wood in the whole ocean. Sorry. So, talking about blockbusters that sunk. Too soon? Too soon. So a lot of people will say, well, Blockbuster, man, Netflix killed them. Maybe, but I don't think that was the big killer. I think these guys killed Blockbuster. Because there's a drug war going on in the corner of every neighborhood to own that corner slot, whether it be for a drugstore or for a video store. So Blockbuster's paying money against these pharmaceutical companies, and Vicodin costs slightly more than Weekend at Bernie's. Blockbuster's true competitor was competing against gumballs, the chiclets that the Kiwanis Club was selling in the lobby of every store on the corner. Because the reality is, my mom doesn't trust the internet, doesn't even trust the mail. Why not go get the physical movie in the vestibule of your Bush's Market? Redbox, I think, was really the death nail that hurt Blockbuster. Now, as we come up with these harebrained schemes, we always get shot down. People are always going to say, well, that idea will never work. It's not their job to believe in the idea. It's your job to believe in the idea, to champion the idea, to sell the idea, to make them believe. Don't worry about the defenders of the status quo. They're trying to keep everything the same. You're trying to change the world. Let's look at another innovator, Dum-Dums. I don't mean to call names. The Dum-Dum Sucker Company used to lose thousands of dollars every day because they would have to clean out the machine. So you'd make cherry pops, and then you'd stop the machine, flush it full of water. Half hour later, you start back up. Now I'm making blueberry. Until someone in marketing came up with why should we clean the machine anymore? The idea of the mystery pop is what happens when they are changing over flavors. When they change a flavor cartridge, they start using the mystery wrapper, and so it's blueberry-ish now instead of blueberry. There's a lot of innovation that can happen in scrap that we throw away. We heard about Heidelberg taking found objects and creating art and changing communities with it. We used to sweep the floor of the Oreo factory and throw it away. Now they sell it back to us as blizzards. What do you see around you every day that people don't put value on, that you can put value on and create an empire? The ideas around you, as you combine them, it's your squirrely stew. You're putting it together. And you can't be afraid of pissing people off. I would contend if you're not pissing a few people off, you're not doing it right. You're not exciting anyone with your ideas. Going to the automotive business. We all go to the auto show, and you'll see the concept cars. And around the same booth, you'll hear half the people going, wow, look at that, futuristic, great lines. And the other half of the display is going, what were they thinking? And so the designers take all this feedback, and they go back into the studio, and they round off all the corners that offended someone. But in doing so, they round off all the corners that excited people. So when the production model comes out, the people who loved it are like, and the people who hated it are, and the sales are, Now this happens because we grew up in this mass market economy. In the old days, we had 3 brands of soap, 3 brands of toilet paper. That's peanut butter. Don't wipe your butt with peanut butter. 3 brands of peanut butter, 3 brands of cars, because we had 3 networks. So we had to create very generic, bland products to appeal to the masses. Now the media landscape looks more like this. You don't have to resonate with everyone. You need a few core fans that are wild about what you do. You want to create products with a remarkable built right in, because that's where you're going to really make an impact. Quit trying to be well-liked. A thumb is worth nothing, okay? Sit on it, Potsy. We want to create love, because the opposite of love isn't hate. In today's economy, the opposite of love is even worse. We need to rekindle that lust in our customers' hearts. Get out of apathy and stay away from meh. When you create an idea, your hope in life is that you turn everyone who hears it into that giant red pitcher of Kool-Aid that bursts your walls and says, yes, I want to be a part of that. I want a part of that idea. I want to buy that product. I want to be part of that project. I want to use that service. That's what we're going for. Now, one of the hardest things when we're selling ideas is get people on board. And the reason is because we all want to give our dissertation on our idea. That's not how it works. Before an idea can flourish, it needs a soundbite to take root. The seed of every idea that you spread starts with that soundbite. Now, scientists say at every second of every day we have 6 billion inputs into our brain. The hum of the fan, the smell of the cheesy cologne 3 rows up, the stomp of my feet, but we filter it out so we can focus on what's important. Now, you've experienced this when you find a car that you want, and then on the way home from the dealership, you're seeing that car everywhere. The reality is you were always seeing that car everywhere, but now your mind's noticing it because it's important to you. So how do we stand out from that shiny object syndrome when everything is blinking and cool and new? And we live in a land of instant gratification where we want fast cars and fast food, unless we're talking. When we're talking, we want your undivided attention. Hold on, I need to tell you the whole story. Let me tell you the backstory before I tell you the story, and then I'll tell you what else is happening. But then when we're listening, what do we do then? Give me the gist. Come on. What's the point? What's the point? We have this disconnect from how we talk and how we listen. It takes 12 seconds to teach a child the idea of patriotism. 12 seconds to say the Pledge of Allegiance of America. If you can't get your idea out in a compelling fashion in shorter than 12 seconds, is your idea bigger than America? Quit talking more, talk less, but use words that mean something. Now, a lot of this stems from, we say the USA Today of America. People don't read anymore, they skim. That's right. We read headlines, drop quotes, pretty pictures, charts, captions. That's fine. That's the reality that we live in today. So we have to communicate in that. Now, in politics, sex, and religion, we use sound bites all the time. We have a verse, a slogan, a pickup line. You need to use this when you're selling your idea. Now, a sound bite in a movie can be a whole marketing campaign. We will walk around saying those sound bites, letting other people know about everything is awesome. What's the first movie on this list? Second one. Third one. Best movie of all time. Fourth one. Fifth one. Now, what's amazing about this one is when you read that, you heard Pacino's accent, and you haven't seen that movie in 20 years, 10 years? That's how important, last week, okay. But that's how indelible a soundbite can be when you really come up with something that works. How about the last one? Kindergarten cop. Who is your daddy and what does he do? It's not a tumor. Now, every entrepreneur works on their elevator pitch. The idea behind the elevator pitch is if you get on an elevator with a venture capitalist, by the time they get to their floor, you can sell them on your idea. And so the rule is, you have to have a good 1 minute. Where the hell are these people riding elevators at? That might work in Dubai, okay? It's not going to fly here at Oakland. You've got 3 floors. But wait, I didn't tell you my name. So one of the things we can do is kill the ampersand. The ampersand is killing us when we're selling our ideas, when we're trying to enroll people. Because we get so passionate about it, we turn into Ron Popeil on an infomercial. But wait, there's more. We're also doing this, and we're doing this, and we're doing this. And we want to tell you all the facets of what we're doing. Now, we can learn a lot from a woman who just gets engaged. You ever seen a woman who just gets engaged? They kind of have this little, look at my ring. You've never grabbed the ring and go, oh, I like that facet. That one's nice too. Oh yeah, I like that one. When they're jiggling their hand, they're trying to catch light on that surface to sparkle in your eye, to catch your attention. And that's the same thing we do with our ideas. We're just trying to put something in there that'll get their attention and make them pay attention to us. We've got to stop trying to educate people on our idea because they're not interested yet. Titillate is way better than educate, and it's a lot of fun to say. When you find a way to titillate their imagination, you'll get folks who will lean in and say the 3 words that every entrepreneur longs to hear. Tell me more. And now you can go into your idea. You've got a whole lifetime to work on your idea. It took 40 years to build a $1 billion business. YouTube, slightly faster, 22 months. And that was remarkable to those jerks at Instagram did it in 18 months. I mean, it makes what app look like, oh man, you guys worked on this for 4 years? Suckers. Your entrepreneurial journey, whether you're a social capitalist or an economic capitalist, when you are trying to put an idea out there, it's a process. Learn to love the facepalm because you are going to screw up and start again. And briefly consider going off in the Peace Corps, and then you'll jump back in it again. We fail and fail and fail long before we succeed. One more story about an unlikely hero. Bob Ritchie actually performed here at Oakland University when I was attending in 2000. His payment for the gig was $1,000, and he didn't receive a check at all because in the OC, his green room was the teacher's lounge, and someone from his band was pulling the pieces of wallpaper off and lighting them on fire. He caused several $1,000s worth of damage, but there were 100 people in the audience to see him, so it was a big success for Kid Rock. But he didn't give up. He kept at it. Now he's the biggest rock star in the world. Local boy makes good. You're going to be put down again and again by your own stupidity and the stupidity of the world around you. But you've got to get off your ass and keep going at it. Patience may be a virtue, but waiting definitely isn't. It's your passion, creativity, and action that'll change the world because they're the only things that ever had. That's why it's so exciting to be here at TEDx Oakland University, because I'm on stage talking to you, but I'm looking out at what's next.